Once you're signed in to Padlet, you can make unlimited Padlet boards. So you have all of the space in the world. And to get started, you want to click the pink button. It'll say Make a Padlet. So I'm going to click there. And when you do that, it's going to give you 8 different options. We're going to take a second to talk about each of these, and later on in the PD, we'll talk about ways that you can utilize each of these for your classes. So you have the wall, and whenever you're thinking about the Padlet wall, that's where you're going to make a post. And then the new post will either show up at the front or the end. It just goes in order. Each post is going to be neatly already organized from one side to the next. And then when it gets to the end of that screen, it'll go down to the next line and so on and so forth. The next one is the canvas. And Canvas will let you move around these little Padlet notes that you'll see, and you'll be able to group those in whichever way that you want so students can move them. And it kind of gets a little bit messy whenever you have a lot of people working on these all at one time, but they're really great for brainstorming, and students can create their own Padlets this way too for pre-writing references. The stream will work exactly like a social media stream, where the first post can either be the top and they can scroll down, and each post is just going to be in one big column. And they can just continue to scroll to read all of the things that's been posted. You have the grid, which is a lot like the wall, but you can arrange content in rows of boxes. So you'd be able to customize the rows, so drag and drop those. The shelf is where you can have column names. So like if you wanted to have vocabulary in one column and definitions in another column, it would allow you to do that easily. You could also have a column for each kid if you wanted to do that or whatever. The back channel is like a chat. So if you ever want to have a chat going on, students can use this to talk to one another, to share notes about a lecture or whatever. You have a map, and then you have a timeline, and those are exactly like what you would think that they are. So for this, I'm just going to select the wall for this video, and it's going to take me to a Padlet, and it's brand new. It automatically will give me a title and a picture. Now, if I don't want these chocolate cupcakes because they're going to make me hungry or because they don't really pertain to what I'm using this Padlet for, I will be able to change that, and I'm going to show you how to do it. So to change the title or the background, I'm going to click right here on my settings wheel. It's in the top corner of the page, and I'm going to click on it. I can change this title to whatever I want to. So maybe I want to have this be a writing project. Underneath, right here, is where I can give it a description. Maybe it goes along with an assignment from Google Classroom, or I just want to give them some directions on what to do. After you have that saying whatever it is that you want to say, you have some other options under here. If you want an icon, it's going to show up directly beside of the title. So I'm going to click here, and I'm just going to pick a random one. I always like this one with the star eyes. So I'm going to click on it. And now my icon is there. I can also turn the icon back off if I don't want that. And notice I pressed the little back arrow to get back to my menu. The address right now, it's going to have padlet.com/Stella_Pollard, which is my username / all of this. I typically share these posts wherever it is that I want my audience to see it. So for you all, it might be Google Classroom. But if you want to customize after that little backslash, you can make this be whatever you want it to say after it, because this is your specific domain. So you can make it say whatever. You have the wallpaper. you can change that. They have solid colors that you can pick from. So maybe you want it to be orange because it's Halloweenish, or you can pick any of those. You also have other genres there that you can pick from. And then down here at the bottom, you have add your own wallpaper. And if you click on that, you're going to be able to use any of these to have a background. You can search an image and it's going to use like a Google image. So maybe I want to look up pencils or something like that, and I can pick whatever I want from there. You can upload a picture directly from your computer. You can paste a link to a picture that you want. You can take a picture of yourself or something in your room, or you can draw. You can also toggle it between tile and field. And then underneath there, you've got some more options. So after you have your wallpaper set up exactly the way that you want, you have a color scheme, and the color scheme is going to affect the color of the Padlet notes that we post that you'll see in another video. For this one, I'm just going to leave it with a white background. You have 4 different fonts that you can pick from, so you can have a little bit of preference there on which one you want. You can also decide how you want to display the creator's work, like if you want it to be anonymous or if you want to display the author's name above each post. You as a teacher and the creator of this Padlet will always be able to see who submitted what, but if you want their peers to be able to see who submitted it, you can turn that on. If you want your new post to show up first, you can click right here, and all new posts will show up first and the older posts will get pushed to the back. I tend to always prefer the older posts to show up last, just because the old post will stay in that same spot. So if a student needs to get back and look at one that they've already looked at before, that'll be easier. You can allow them to leave comments. And then reactions, you can have them with a heart. They can give thumbs up or thumbs down. They can give 1 to 5 stars to rate. And then you could also have the ability for them to grade specifically on this Padlet. I typically like the heart just because they're used to that with all of their social media that they already use. And then down at the bottom, you have 2 more options, but these are probably 2 of my favorite. Require approval. So if you have an assignment that you don't want everybody to see the post until a certain time, you can turn that on and no one will be able to see the post until you approve them. And then filter for profanity. So if someone says something bad, it's going to filter that. After you have all of your settings set the way that you want, you're going to click the Save button, and all of those will be applied. And then I'm just going to click Close, and I'll be right back. In our next video, we're going to talk a little bit more about how the Padlet works, but this video just talks specifically about how to make it and how to change the settings.